Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. I'm Cody Hucker.
Luke Young.
Tony Lewis.
That's fucking Tony Lewis, I guess. I suppose.
That's fucking squeaky wheel,
Joke.
Tony Lewis. Did you hear that?
Fucking rules. I love this joke. Our guest this week is comedian Chris Weir. Everyone give it the fuck up.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Please put your shirts back on. No, seriously. Thank you guys for having me. I love your studio here. It's very fun. Very eclectic.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a lovely kitchen studio that we've draped in tarps.
Oh, I got that. A kitchenette that looks like it doubles as a fuck dungeon.
Pretty nice. Nothing better. Nothing better than when you
Get
try
the
to...
cum sheets.
When you try to get I think these are the cum sheets.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, they started off white.
Oh, yeah. I can see it. Very crusty cream color now.
Ugh. Oh, God. I hope they don't smell like that. It's always weird trying to bring a new person into this room, and then they just walk in, and it's just all fucking tarped off, and they're like, well, welcome to my chainsaw murder.
I know. It's like I feel like I was asking if I should help, but like I'm just putting up like the plastic where you guys are kind of like Dexter style kill me in.
Helping set up the kill room.
Yeah, and there's no electronics plugged in. You guys keep saying you got a podcast, but there's no like equipment or mics.
Can I help with anything? Yeah, put this Kroger bag over your head, and I'll tie it.
What am I doing with these knives?
What a fun little bonus for us. Like, we'll help you set up the kill room.
Yeah, it's pretty great. You guys got a nice system working here.
Nothing better. Nothing better than a little help with your kill room. All right, I started this on Facebook today, and I think it's podcast worthy because it sparked such a rift. People stood on two different sides of this canyon. When you wipe your ass, do you sit down and wipe your ass, or do you stand up and wipe your ass?
Who's standing up and wiping their ass?
I would argue it's the only way to wipe your ass.
You're already sitting down. Like, why would you introduce like being prone in this situation and clasp your butt cheeks?
I'll answer, but Luke looks very excited.
I know he's got that hand raised.
I've got to say I'm a hybrid. Because everyone knows who listens to the podcast knows that I don't have catastrophic shits. I don't really have shits that'll like, oh man, like that was a hot like steamy one, like oh I just blew that shit up. Like don't like give that some time, you know what I mean? Like it's hard for me to do that. But I like if I do have a long dump, like some logs are coming out. Standing up, spreading cheek, I'm grabbing the whole righty. You know what I mean? I'm creating a chasm.
Sure.
I'm getting in there. I'm cleaning out. But if it's just like oh I gotta go poop, I sit down, just a nugget comes out, just a little small nugget. I might just sit down, go for the quick wipe.
I don't understand.
Right,
like
the quick wipe, smell it, lick it one time, fold it
up. You know the drill.
Right.
Throw it away.
Yeah,
it's a health issue. See which your pH balance is. But like I don't understand why introducing standing up. How does that make things better?
Because I feel like I need a good firm foot position. I take catastrophic shits on the other side of the spectrum of the other side of the shit chart, if you will. It's diarrhea multiple times.
Shark chart.
Not a week, a day. There's bad fucking things going on in my body.
Not even that is necessary though. Like, do you have a nice ass, Chris? I didn't get a look at it when we were walking in the studio.
I used to. It's pretty much evaporating. Right? It just goes flat now. Like in high school, I had a little bit of a bump back there.
When you got a fat old tur cutter, you know what I mean. You got two fucking fat old hills.
That's what I got.
Like same brother.
I got some cheeks.
And it's tight in there, you know what I mean? So when you're shitting, it's just like rubbing in between those two fucking hills and coming out. So there's it's creating a slick. So you gotta fucking
maybe I don't know what a butt is.
You gotta stand up. You gotta pull that cheek over. You gotta open it up. You know what I mean?
Here's where I take issue with the sit and wipe, because you're sitting on the toilet for 20, 30 minutes, right? If you're a real grumbler, a real bad one, you're gonna be in there for a minute. You're gonna be working at it. You're trying not to give yourself hemorrhoids again. I'm sitting on a hemorrhoid donut. This isn't a bit. This isn't a joke. This is real. This is a medical issue for me, okay? I don't want to bleed from my asshole. I'm not trying to push and pull with the asshole. That's where the hemorrhoids come from. So you're sitting there a while, your legs go numb because I have poor circulation, because I use drugs and I drink and I don't take care of my body. My diet is... I eat everything that like the garbage disposal at a homeless shelter eats. It's fucking.
This diet looks like what you run the DeLorean off of.
Okay,
now.
Right. So my legs are numb, my cheeks are numb, and then I'm gonna trust that I'm not gonna get poo all over me, like by just one cheek in the air. on my unsturdy, shitty little fucking toilet lid. Like, there's no way that that's not going to end catastrophically with me covered in dookie.
The introduction of that. Okay, I understand that more. Like, yours is a bit more of a terrain situation.
Sure.
There's a delicate application that needs to be done when wiping a hemorrhoid ass.
Yes.
It's catastrophic warfare. He changes the landscape. It's unknown to the natives now.
I know. You completely scorch it, and you even salt the earth there. That's
Yes.
I do a little chemical warfare with the preparation H, the suppositories, everything. Keep going. I'm interrupting your
Well,
point.
where you, it sounds like you have like just like a wide set asshole where it's just like it's just everything to spray shots. But you're still in your 20s, right?
I'm 28.
29
December.
In 30s, like that's when like things just become like so regular where you're just like shotgunning shit into the back of the bowl where it's just like I don't even like recognize it as like an issue anymore.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, but little change of pace here.
Sure.
When wiping, are we going from front to back or back to front?
What am I, a fucking a wild barbarian? Of course I'm going front to back. Yeah, and I'm starting, by the way, the shits that I'm taking, you described it well, shotgunning the back of the bowl. It's getting on the back of my balls. So I'm grabbing the middle of the skin of my balls. I'm pulling it up, right? Back.
Are you really getting shit on your balls?
100% I'm getting shit on my balls.
Man.
And I'm starting at the balls. You know the little space underneath your balls? The little fucking, there's a little place.
Gooch lip?
Yes, a gooch lip. I didn't have the words for it until now. I'm going to write that. Hold on. Let me pause the podcast. We're back. I wrote that down. I start back there and I get a good scoop going. Then I go in. Wet wipes exclusively. If I have the money, preparation H with the numbing cream. I got to go for that. I love that.
Are you ready for the catastrophic blowback of those wet wipes building up in your sewer system?
I throw them in the trash can because I'm not a psychopath. What do you mean?
So you're throwing these shitty covered like wet
Don't
wipes in
go into my bathroom is what I'm trying to tell you.
No.
There's flies in there all the time. All the time. And you know I'm not changing it regularly. I'll throw my son's diapers in there.
I love that he keeps saying, like, not like a psychopath or a barbarian. And then he describes way worse shit than a psychopath or a barbarian would be willing to put up with.
What did I say?
All of it, Cody. All of
You
it.
have wet ass wipes with your adult shit on there just hanging out loose in the garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, what did I
understand like
I don't
children.
see the issues here.
Did you grow up in a place where like there was issues like with
No
the
dad?
septic
Yeah.
Did
tank?
you grow up in a shanty with no father? No running water?
The first like
Just to
roommates,
wash in the creek?
yeah, the first roommates that I had, they were from somewhere in southern Kentucky. So even like
say no more.
pre-wet wipe era, they were taking regular, dry toilet paper, wiping it and just throwing it in the trash. And I didn't realize that was a cultural thing. But the wet wipes make sense because those don't break down the way they say they do. They will legit cause sewage issues.
And I live in my basement.
Even the ones that say that they do break down.
Correct. Don't flush your wet wipes ever. And I live in a basement, so I've seen what happens when the wet wipes build up. Your fucking toilet explodes. And
It's over.
The whole neighborhood, not your shits, the whole neighborhood, it's attached to it's not a septic tank. It's attached to the city fucking sewer pipe. It's going to explode into your basement. All my shit's going to be ruined with human feces, and I'm gonna die in it. Like that's the way that I always knew
All
I
your
was gonna
sins
die.
coming back to you.
All
All
my
those wet
open
wipes.
I'll wake up. All my open penis sores will be caked in the fucking the diarrhea of the neighborhood.
Exactly.
And I'll get gangrene that I'll never get treated until it's way too late.
If you were to write, and I mean really write,
Yeah.
with like Shakespearean description, your
I think that
experience
was.
of like what you
Was that not an
experienced
iambic
before you go to
pentameter?
the bathroom, then your journey to the bathroom, the journey of you feeling the shit coming out the shit,
Sure.
all of it would be H.P. Lovecraftian.
Right.
A little- wait,
until
a little-
no one had the respect to read it once they found out he wiped his ass standing.
I could be like Ooh Kowski. No,
Ooh,
all right.
Kowski. I like that.
I'll take a lap on that one.
Pukowski.
Pukowski.
It was right there.
Oh, how did I not? It was right there, waiting for me to take it. Oh, Lloyd just snatched it up. With my hopes and dreams.
He punched it up for you.
Also, it sounds like neither of you guys know like the spread and sit.
The spread and
No, I absolutely know the spread and sit, but then you're talking about he's talking about shotgunning a bowl, which I am definitely doing. There's shit on the underside of the seat. It's a problem when I take a shit. 6 out of 7 times. All right.
Right. But
So
understand
what I'm saying is your hands to get in there. I've got firm cheeks, big fat cheeks.
I'm
down
with you,
here.
brother. I'm with you.
Maybe it's cellulite. I don't know if
got
it's
no
muscle,
ass.
but
I
big
don't-
big ass. So I'm getting down in there
Love
into
it
the bowl.
anyways.
My legs numb. There's poo water filled with diarrhea, and every square inch around my hand is covered in poo. And I'm supposed to just get in there, grab my balls, get underneath my balls. I don't stretch. I'm not going to stretch before I
I'm
take a
seeing the
shit.
problem. I do see the problem.
Yeah,
Just
come on.
stop shitting entirely. No more shitting, everybody. No, it's because you're wiping
Start doing
from
heroin.
front to back. I'm telling you, change up the game.
And wipe
Go-
shit into my balls.
No. It's a two-hand operation. You take the one hand, whatever is your non-dominant, non-wiping hand.
Okay.
You cup your
Left.
balls. You lift it up. And the thing is, the ass is a round surface. By that logic, why don't you get shit on the back of your head when you wipe from front to back? Because you eventually stop. You just wipe straight out.
There you go.
And I'm telling you, you do not have to get up. You don't even have to change positions. It was a game changer for me.
Wait, so you're wiping back to front?
You know
yes. Come over to
Insane.
this
what? You know what
side.
the real game changer that I need in
Hold
my
on.
life?
We need a review from the opposite sex. What's your girlfriend saying about the ball situation? Does it stink?
Do you got good balls?
Yeah,
How-
I think
what
my
are your
balls
balls looking
My
like?
balls are fine. I don't think any balls smell great, but they smell.
Well, yeah, but like if you mess
No,
it
I
up
don't-
on that, there's a tinge of
What's the David
there's
Tell
dookie
joke?
on the
on
balls.
the best day, my balls smell like a foot.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have any dingle ball berries on my
Okay.
balls.
So take a ball berry.
No, I have
My
very
man.
clean
That's
balls.
the episode Dingle Ball Bears
That's
with Chris
the name.
Weir.
Tight,
That's the
tight.
name.
I'm telling you, that's the reason why I guess I don't stand up ever to shit, because I don't have an issue reaching, getting around. Like, I'm not having to lean over, put like awkward weight, lean forward,
Okay.
go from
All right, well, I-
back to front. I'm telling you, it's a game changer.
So we're sitting across from two Renaissance men, is what I didn't realize.
Oh,
until
and
right
hybrid
now.
on the toilet paper versus wet wipes. I start off with the TP, and then I just use a couple wet wipes at the end.
You guys are the Leonardo da Vinci
No,
of wiping your asses.
I have time to
right
think
now.
there.
I'm gonna have to give
There's
Chris
schematics on
I'm gonna-
Chris's system.
I'm
you can
skeptic.
look up in the Library of Congress
I'm
right
skeptic.
now.
But I'm
Charlie
gonna
Day
try it.
thing, and everything's just pointing around there. It's just all turds and shit.
Sweating, you haven't shaved in weeks.
My pants
Pepe
are off.
Sylvia.
Your pants are
Back
off.
to front.
Your dick and balls are caked in shit.
Instead of like mail falling down, just turds dropping.
Plopping from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm reviewing this tactic, and I'll be back with you guys next week.
Sure.
Honestly,
sure.
I am on team back to front because I
Team
can
back
control,
to front.
And
Listeners,
I can
we
control
need
where my
reviews, by
hands
the
are.
way.
I don't. What?
He has limited mobility, and he's twice the size of all of us.
Yeah,
So,
so-
he has to do it a certain way. I figure out if you have figured the best way for you to wipe, that's got to be one of the best ways for people that don't have limited mobility to wipe.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't tell me how you wipe anymore, because it's way funnier for me to imagine that you have to use one of those old people grabby sticks to wipe your ass. And
are-
you're doing a poor job of it. Yeah, all the way from the back. That's the only way his fucking hips work anymore.
I just grab a towel and just wring it back and forth like an old Daffy Duck cartoon.
We are
God
real
damn.
close to the day where it is I only shit before I have time to take a shower. Like
Yeah.
we're getting close to that
Shit
point
the
of
shower?
like, yeah, it's just
Why
gonna be
don't-
like
Fellas, why are we not doing the bidet? Why is none of us here doing the bidet yet? It's like $50.
I
Why are
had
we not
one-
doing it?
I had one.
I'm
and
not
it
doing it. I need
fucked
it.
up real bad. It was
What happened?
it just like basically turned into like where it would just be like a tiny little like stream. And I'm
Little
like, that's
kiss.
not doing.
Hold that
the
button
job.
down, baby
Yeah.
girl.
I tried a bidet the
I
first
did.
time.
It worked fine 3 times, and then it went to that, and then I got a replacement from the same company, and it worked fine 3 times, and then did that.
Well,
So,
maybe you just had the standard model. Maybe you need like the paint blaster, like
yeah,
the
I
day
think
version.
I think I need a much
You know,
more
The
like,
super soaker.
higher
Yeah.
higher pressure.
Yeah,
I
like
want,
your shit is just too dense compared to like most humans. Yeah,
When you said super soaker, I imagine a neon green and orange one, like from the 90s.
And there's a kid pumping it in the back.
it's got like orange foam
That's what
padding on the
as a kid there,
seat.
it shoots his ass.
You're gonna come in here. You're gonna come in here next time, and there's gonna be one of those fucking hoses like at the car wash, like with the handle, just like
Soap built into it.
for real.
I have not done the bidet, but that is just something.
Same.
It's on my to-do list. I figure like I need to have at least one bidet, because everyone I've heard that does that, minus like your malfunction with the product you got, everyone speaks so highly of it.
Same,
Sure, yeah, that's what I
I've
keep
heard
hearing.
nothing
Tell your
but
wife
good
to get
things
you one
about
for
it.
Christmas.
Yeah,
Then you don't have to worry about whatever bullshit she was gonna buy.
That's great. Yeah, bidet for Christmas.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm loving this.
Yeah,
All right, next order of business. What's your penis in inches, Chris?
Oh, actually, first,
didn't I already send it?
Before we get more into the skit,
emails all the time.
before we get further into the bits, let's plug the shows right off the top.
Okay, yeah.
What shows you got coming up, man?
Go Bananas, October 5th. I'll be closing that show out. I will be at Esoteric on the 7th. That's somewhere in Cincinnati. Another Cincinnati show on the 29th. I believe will be at Urban Artifact. And then if anyone is in Lexington, I will be at Comedy Off-Broadway the 20th through 22nd. Featuring
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. What is it?
It's my name, Chris Weir, and then my initials, CW. So that's the same for Instagram and Twitter. Pretty much all my
Chris Weir CW.
That's right.
We'll tag it up. Do you have a website with all your tour dates on it and shit like that?
I mean, I got a website. I haven't updated in a while, but
who does? Who's going to a website anymore?
Yeah, everyone just follows your social stuff.
Do you have to pay for the website? Are you shelling out like money every month?
Or did you buy it from Squarespace?
I bought it from Squarespace. I just have a domain in a very just like whatever like the first introduction is to like make sure you have. It's like a Netflix subscription.
Use promo code bastard at Square. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Fucking only
Stamps.com. This would be the only like podcast Stamps does not like sponsor. Like they talk about shit the whole time.
Hey guys, all 37 of you go down to Stamps.com. I know at least one of you has a business that you need to stamps for at home. All right. Anyways, what? Back to penis size? No, of course not. What else do we have? Wait, yes.
No, you were about
Giant
to
cock,
dive into
Luke
something.
Young. Do you got a big giant piece like my freckled friend here?
Okay.
He said no. He said yeah. He was like, no, we're in the dick conversation. That's what I took that as.
Oh, okay.
Was that not it?
No.
Okay. Moving along.
I mean, like all the kids that I show it to seem to gasp, so I think that's like a good like sign.
Yeah. What kind of gasp though? Like, can you tell that they're like?
I mean, it's gargled a lot because it's in their mouth, so like I can't make it out. Like in their mouth, it looks huge.
Yeah, but you give them the Arabian eye mask with the balls over the eyes, so that they can't.
I've never heard that.
Can't identify you. Yeah,
Arabian eye mask.
But he only shows them at a Catholic school, so they're all like, "Oh, not this again."
Oh yeah, they're very familiar with it. If you show it to Catholic kids, they're like, "Oh fuck, okay, here we go." Yeah.
Not the Father Bob special.
No, that's like the whole wash your sex toys. That's why they came up with baptism.
How are we gonna top, fellas? How are we gonna top this for the Patreon? We gotta slow down. We gotta watch something. We gotta watch something stupid now. We gotta do something dumb. We've in fucking 12 minutes. Here's what we've done: shits and wiping, child molestation. We're 16 minutes in. How do you top that for a Patreon? We gotta,
there's a lot of momentum to sustain there.
Right.
I believe in us.
Should we bring it down and talk about 9/11?
Let's take this to a screeching halt. Sandy Hook.
Yeah. How about building number 7? How did that come down?
The Jews.
Well, it rhymes with the Jews. Oh well. Okay. You had some videos. You had something that you wanted to play, right? The Facebook thing. Do you want to start with that?
We can. Yeah.
Let's go right into it. Yeah. Why not? What is this? Set it up before I play it.
It's just something I saw the other day where there's it's like a legit jetpack.
All right. Great setup.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Let's go. Let's fucking
an out of the
go,
water
dude.
one.
Yeah, this is like
Does this
legit.
need volume?
No, I don't think you. Other than how loud it is, but
Who cares? You're flying.
Wait, is he powering this with his farts? It
Yes.
looks like he's spreading cheeks and just flaming that thing.
It's methane fueled, actually.
and this is why Cody failed science.
This is not a jetpack. He's going nowhere.
No, you'll
with
see.
it.
You know,
You'll
he's got
see,
those
bro.
mitts on,
It's a
too.
demonstration.
I hope he explodes.
This is a demonstration. They have all sorts of different like types of this. I've seen this like exact setup done before. See?
Yeah, he's got those mitts on.
So yeah, basically, apparently, what I'm guessing is it builds up pressure by the combustion.
I can't wait to see all the death videos on Best Gore.
That's exactly why they won't do this.
Oh no! These are supposed to be on sale in like 2026.
Oh my god, I can't wait. We're gonna do a whole segment of death
They would
videos.
they would have, especially like with stuff like this and stuff with like flying cars, whenever they get to that, they would have to like start opening up especially with like schooling and stuff like that, the pricing they would have to look into, and the zoning on flying. Like they would have to start teaching people like all of the exact procedures to this stuff.
This
Not
is
just like drop your 38K and fly out of here today. You know, like
this is real. This looks like this. Almost
it's
looks,
super real.
This is fucking insane to me.
Normally, the ones you see are the ones where they're like on water, and it's like a gyro situation,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it's shooting air and like water out. This is the first one I see that's like actually on land, so that's pretty impressive.
So there's another one that is on land as well. That is, I guess, you can go higher.
What I don't get,
You want me to take it to Google for this?
is when they have these, like, most of this stuff is like military base, but like, imagine that guy trying to stealthily go anywhere. That's gotta be some really loud shit. Yeah. And then, like, once he like makes his way like over like on the boat or whatever, he's gonna be like, all right, now help me out of this. Because he's got his hands locked in there. That's
dude, you think
they'll just put guns into
I was just gonna say, once the military gets their mitts on this, they're putting fucking all sorts of guns inside that thing.
You're saying he's gonna be able to shoot wind bullets?
Yes.
Dude, let's go. Let's fucking go.
It's the Havana syndrome.
It's the definition of assassination.
That's a good joke.
I don't know what that means, but I'm hard.
Wind bullets. We'll look it up later.
All right. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, this is sick. All right. You want to see somebody die?
Yeah.
Chris, how do you feel about people dying?
Well, those are like the first things that I watched. I'm not into it, but I'm familiar with. Those were like the first things I saw.
Put your dick away. Come on,
sorry,
you gotta put that away.
Come on, we're
before you
supposed to be
say
half chubbed, right?
Oh, I'm not into it. Your dick's out. You're stroking it.
No, Faces of Death. That was one of the first websites I remember like checking out as a kid.
No, it's rotten.com. That's
Consumption Junction.
Yeah. Faces of Death was the VHS tape that went around when we were kids.
Okay.
Yeah, that was most of it on the first one was fake, like the monkey one. So they'd kill a monkey in that, but for whatever reason, they don't actually when they fucking bust his brain open, they don't. That's fake. They fake that part of it, but they do.
They kill a real monkey.
They kill a real monkey. They eat his real brains. They don't show his death. They fucking fake that part of it inexplicably. Even the there's an alligator attack. That one's fake. The real ones, the animal ones that they put in there, like the bird eater tarantula that's in the fucking first Faces of Death.
Oh, damn, I'm trying to remember. Like the one thing that I do like really remember is this beheading video.
Yeah,
where this dude is. I mean, he's got his head being stomped on. He's got like a boot, and then it looked like a serrated like army blade.
Oh my god!
It is.
Yeah, that one was real.
Dude, those are rough. I hate those fucking videos because like I don't know what it is about just actually watching a person's head be severed from their body and thrown in their lap, but there was one, I worked with a bunch of degenerates when I worked in kitchens and shit like that, and I'd show what I thought was my version of here's what we played on the podcast, isn't this crazy? It's a guy sucking his own dick. And my friend Paul was like, oh yeah, I got something similar, and he shows me a video, and it's Mia Khalifa about to take a big giant rod right in the mouth, and as the hog almost hits her lips, then it smash cuts to a cartel beheading where the dude just sawing through a dude's neck and throws it in a dude's lap, and the blood just starts pouring out and shit like that. And I was like, that's burned into my memory forever. I can't get that out. Sometimes I'm beating off and I just start crying inexplicably. It's an intense thing to fucking watch.
This will fall right into the Lloyd is a psycho thing, unfortunately, but a lot of that stuff
that's what you fall asleep to?
I would watch them to try and figure out why it upset people so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just
I can't understand the concept of death and murder.
No. I got like
I'm just so removed.
I get that that's bad, but I guess logically in my brain, like this is a thing that happened. So why is seeing it so much weirder?
So we know that it goes on, but I think like putting like visceral images to it. Like I knew of the term beheading when I was a kid, but just seeing like I can't forget like the boot on this dude's head as they're just ripping up his fucking like neck. So I think like that. It takes you to a different spot in your brain and it burns a new memory.
Yeah. Have you ever seen one? Go ahead.
To me, it's the idea of it, the knowing that that's the thing that happens is fucking terrible and gross. But I don't know why seeing it makes it so different for people. Like it's just not a thing that, like people are like, oh, I can't watch surgery videos. I vomit. I'm like, but why?
Well, it's traumatizing. It's you have a natural response to things like that make you want to pull away from that if your brain's wired correctly, so that you can behave in society and continue to procreate and not eat your children as they come out of the womb and fucking, it's a detriment to
but the only way you got to stay around to have more children was by doing that to other people.
Right, in defense of your tribe, right? So, but that would only be like a certain group of the elites in that tribe that would do that. If you just think about it logically, you can't function in a normal...
So what you're saying is I'm a winner.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you're better than all of us.
Yeah, if this was 1440, you would be, painted with the blood of some virgin and fucking swinging an axe on the battlefields. Yeah,
you'd be like, this is doing nothing for me.
I remember
virgin blood. We should all be wearing this.
I remember being like fundamentally changed when my friends first showed me a snuff film. They were like, "You ever seen Three Guys and a Hammer?" And I was like, "Nah." And
did Sammy show you that, by the way?
No, it was Joe and Brandon, and they were like, they were like, oh, so you don't want to see? I was like, no, I have no interest in watching this man get beat to death. And they're like, all right, and I'm like, just looking down at my phone because we just got high, and And like as I'm looking down, they're pulling this shit up before I even look up from my phone. And like
by the
as
way,
I look up, I'm watching this dude.
You're missing
like,
a note here. You're missing a note here. You guys wouldn't just get high in that basement. They would be like, let's smoke 30 bong rips in a row.
And then let's smoke 4 packs of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And have no windows open or doors open
in the basement. So you're having a panic attack already, and then they're like, here's beheading videos and 3 Guys, 1 Hammer. My
so
friend,
scary.
Our mutual friend Sammy called me to be like, have you seen 3 Guys, 1 Hammer yet? And I was like, what is that? And she was like, go ahead and look it up. You're going to love this. I'm 14 years old. I was like, okay, let's go. Which means she's 12 at this point, right? It's the first time that I ever like started talking to her. So I'm 14, she's 12. She's like, you haven't seen 3 Guys, 1 Hammer? What are you doing with your life right now? You know, so I'm downloading LimeWire to fucking find this video, giving my family computer aids, and it pulls it up. And I remember it starts off with the dude walks in because he's on the street side, right? That's how the thing starts, and there's woods everywhere, and he walks through the woods.
They snatch him up off the side of the highway.
Yeah, and they're like torturing him. The part that sticks in my brain is they're taking a screwdriver, and he's barely alive, and they're sticking it into his gut, and he's trying his best to like grab it, but he's got no strength left because they've already fucking pulverized his face and like fucked him up.
You just hear gurgles.
And then every time that they start sticking the screwdriver into him, he's like, and he's like trying to grab it, and then they just kind of brush his hand away and stick it into his stomach again. And it'll never leave my brain. It's never going away.
Mm-hmm. You know what else is really hard to watch? It isn't nearly as gruesome, but
The Voice.
Luke Young do comedy. No.
Seeing those videos where somebody gets knocked out with a punch and then they continue to just beat the shit, like just seeing a lifeless knocked out body.
Like when they make that noise when they first get knocked down, they hit the
Chris Weir. It's interesting you say that.
Flopping when they get just like pulverized, and it's just like, oh, Christ.
It's interesting that you say that, Chris.
Why is that? Is something going to happen here?
Well, I mean,
these are hooligans.
What is this, like a London street fight?
Couple soccer hooligans.
So they're definitely from London or some
doing some UK footballery. I don't know if this video needs sound. Let's try it.
Oh, Manchester United is the greatest team in the world.
He went right for the dude with the metal chair.
Did you see what happened, though?
He got slammed in the face.
That's why you're not the first one. You never be the first in the pack.
Why is he going after the dude?
Watch. They try to pull this man away. Oh, it's rough.
Golly.
This guy's dead now. This guy is completely dead, and they keep trying to drag him away from it. They're like, "Oh, are you dead?" Like, and they keep dragging away and like lifting him up and letting him fall all the way down.
Backing up to that last story where the guy throws the chair back.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see this dude get down again.
Let's rewatch the whole thing, play by play.
So watch when not.
Can I go slow motion on this?
Yeah, after the guy gets knocked out and all that, whatever.
Oh man, he came.
Okay, so he's down.
So when they pick him back up and the guy runs back up and throws the chair back up the stairs,
he gets a double chair to the head.
No. Hold on. Look at this lame ass throw.
Yeah, he tried to 2-arm whip it.
This is why you play American football, where you use your arms too.
I will say the soccer hooligans, I mean, it is violent, but there is more rules and camaraderie with like a team situation.
Watch this. Watch this.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's pathetic.
And the dude just kind of fucking brushes it away. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" The man did a backflip on his spine. I think it hit him right, like his head was bent right on his spine, and then he goes down. Then his friends are like, "We're gonna pull him away and save him." And every time they lift him up, they're like smack him in the face, and they just drop him from like 3 feet in the air, just let his head crumble on the concrete.
Yeah,
if he wasn't dead yet, your friends have killed you.
Right.
You're dead now.
It's the Gwen Stacy paradox, so you don't know what killed him. The fucking chair to the dome. Or
you're such a nerd. You're such the Gwen Stacy paradox.
It's for me and the viewers.
The 2 Spider-Man nerds out there that are with him.
I saw a bunch of good stuff. Do you guys ever subscribe to what is it?
Fight porn.
Fight porn. There's a great one in a classroom full of Lloyds that they start attacking each other. I hope I can find it. Oh, I'm gonna have to scroll through. You guys, come on.
You know, there's a bunch of savages constantly posting in this goddamn subreddit, like all hours of the day.
I sent it to. Hold on. Hey, hold it down, fellas. Okay. I'm gonna send the link.
Have you been a part of any like brutal fights?
No, I should have got my ass kicked a handful of times. I always lucked out.
From talking
that bracelet, or
what?
Yeah,
like
from running my mouth.
Yeah,
from being an idiot, thinking like nothing's gonna happen to me. And I mean, I've gotten. I remember one time I was about to get jumped at a high school basketball game, and then my science teacher stop them from beating the shit out of me, which was really convenient.
Hell yeah,
like
dude.
I was just talking shit to these people like during the game, just messing around, making fun of them. They were like kind of like the poor, dumber school, and I was just being an ass. And then
fucking pores.
yeah, I was just making like some basic jokes to them. But I will say they started it first. However, after the game, they came up to me and was like, all right, we're going to go outside. I says, all right, go outside, count to 10, and I'll be out there. And I was like, oh, don't worry, guys. They can't figure out how to count. They'll be out there forever, And then I forget about it, go outside by myself, and then I'm going to walk down like these long steps. It goes from like the basketball like arena to the parking lot, and then I just feel like the presence like just come around me. And I'm like, fuck. And there's 3 dudes right behind me that I was, fucking with, and then they start just like spitting on me. And then I go to turn around to him. I wrap my arm around one of the guys and says, I don't see why there's any reason why we can't be friends. And then one dude just shoves me down to the steps. I caught the railing. And then my science teacher was down in the parking lot for whatever reason. I think he might have been like smoking pot or something.
Yeah.
And was just like fortunate enough to like just see that go on. And he just let out like a big adult yell like, hey! And they ran off. And then, I thought for sure I was going to get my ass kicked.
There's a legit point where one of my teachers told me like later, but he absolutely knew that there were people planning to jump me after school and did nothing about it.
Oh, Jesus.
What did you do to that science teacher that made him?
Did you spit
Nothing.
in his mouth?
I actually kind of thought it was funny, but like he was just like, yeah, I heard him talking about it, but I figured nothing's gonna happen to you, and I'm like.
There's a piece of the story that you don't know that you're leaving out, that you don't even know you're leaving out, where you've for sure you fucked his wife or something, like you've done something horrible as a 15-year-old that you just aren't aware that other people would be mad about.
That could be the story.
I just know you too well.
That could be the story, or 15-year-old Lloyd was like a young Clark Kent, and they were like, and the teacher was like, there's no way these children are going to hurt Superman.
No, that's basically what he said. He was like, I couldn't see it being a real.
I can't imagine those guys hurting you.
Yeah, a bunch of people talking about jumping me. Maybe are you supposed to do something about that? And he's like, I don't know. I just didn't see it as like a real problem. I'm
Did you see in my head? You like beat the fuck out.
I swear to God, I have video of this fight. Do you want to see it?
What?
The fight that you're talking about.
Sure.
Your science teacher sent it to me. Would you like to see it?
It wasn't even a science teacher. But...
Grade school kids beating each other?
No, it is not.
Watch again.
Wait a minute. Is this what I think?
Yes.
Are these Special Olympics?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
I said this to my friend, and he said that's why you can't show them John Cena or feed them Mountain Dew after midnight.
Oh, get some
Anthony
really
Tank
worked
Mansfield.
up.
Check out his podcast. What you into?
Yeah, that kid watched a whole bunch of wrestling before school that morning.
Couldn't fit the mouse guard in over the big tongue.
Oh, man. Where were the helmets?
That's what I was
That's
saying.
the other half of the classroom.
Yeah, they're all standing back there, their helmets touching.
Just knocking them together.
And they tried to remove it. But I got it before it was removed, so I can still.
Nice.
Man.
Yes, beat off to that in
You
perpetuity.
gotta wonder like what triggered that fight between the two.
Candy.
Someone touched someone's ears.
You took my Tootsie Roll.
I know Santa. And they started wailing.
You don't know Santa. Santa's my dad.
All these non sequiturs. They keep getting pushed in further than the other kids,
Why do you have a blue math folder?
He took your Jolly Rancher. And they started wailing.
Oh shit!
And if you'd like to hear more jokes like that, Chris Weir, where are you going to be at again?
I will be in Lexington, Kentucky, where they will eat this shit up.
You'll be in Lexington, Kentucky, where they didn't qualify for that class.
You'll be in Lexington, Kentucky, in this classroom.
Yeah, that's a regular math class in Kentucky.
That's actually
That's an honors program.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna
that's
fucking say it's AP Calc right there.
Yeah, take a big chug. You're gonna need that big chug. I got you another one. I got to set you up with another beer if you need one. All right, what do we got next?
Oh, is that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Are you guys watching Dahmer?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
I-
What was I just listening to? I was just listening to another podcast. Last podcast on the left. They're talking about some murderers and stuff on there. I just
Sure.
watched something else.
Who was the murderer? Who'd they get into?
They were interviewing this lady that interviewed the BTK killer,
All right.
amongst a few other people. She didn't get in like a ton of specifics that I wanted
That's
to.
Dennis Rader, right?
I think she was very pragmatic about like a lot of her responses, so it wasn't like as juicy. But I was also listening to a previous podcast where talking about some UK killing team that they were just a bunch of country bumpkins and fucking killed a bunch of people. I'm on part
Time
one.
Suck did one of that. Yeah.
I used to listen to that podcast religiously. It was like one of the first podcasts I ever got into.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll dive into it, but I think I've just been getting more into like some of the killer stuff. I just watched Night Stalker. That's what I was watching.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was watching.
That one's brutal. I don't know what it is about watching that, but like seeing the crime scenes and seeing that the fucking, I forget the detective's name, but the dude that's breaking it all down, like Detective Gutierrez or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's fucking like breaking down. Like you could see the pain in his face for these victims the entire time. Like all my empathy shit's going off. Like stuff that you'll never understand, Lloyd. Empathy is when you feel bad for other people.
I understand the definition, sir. Keep moving.
I don't feel the definition. I understand it.
I know what it's like to emulate.
Night Stalker's a crazy one, though.
Do you know what's weird? Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I mean, just like the depths of his depravity. I mean, I just haven't seen anything or heard anything like that.
Well, here, let me fuck you up worse.
All right, cool.
Go on Time Suck with Dan Cummins.
Okay.
And find a Richard Chase.
Richard Chase.
That was a good one.
The vampire of...
that was really good.
Whatever.
Not Brooklyn. You're thinking of Albert Fish, but yeah.
No, it was the vampire of Sand, one of the Sands. But this guy named Richard Chase.
Okay.
It is some of the most bananas. Like, you're like, I'm sorry, what the fuck did you just say? And he's like, oh, no, this is confirmed by multiple sources. He used to wrap a towel around his head and stick orange peels in it because he thought it would keep his...
Golden voice Luke Young.
Oh, man.
Give us a little Wikipedia synopsis.
Vampire of Sacramento.
Looks totally sane. Yep.
Richard Trenton Chase was an American serial killer, cannibal, and necrophile who killed 6 people in the span of a month in 1977 and in 78 in Sacramento, California.
They make that sound like it's like a major or something or a minor. A necrophile. I minored in necrophilia.
He was nicknamed the Vampire of Sacramento because he drank the victim's blood and cannibalized their remains.
Let's get into the actual.
Wasn't it you that said once you get to the straw part, let me know? Yeah.
Is this too long to? It's fine. Go ahead, please.
On December 29th of 77, Chase killed his first known victim in a drive-by shooting. The victim, Ambrose Griffin, was a 51-year-old engineer and father of 2. 2 weeks later, he attempted to enter the home of a woman, but because the door was locked, he walked away. Chase later told detectives that he took locked doors as a sign that he was not welcome, but unlocked doors were an invitation to come inside. No shit.
That's the same thing the Night Stalker did, Richard Ramirez. Richard Ramirez would be like, if your door's unlocked, that's a sign that I'm going to come in and rape and kill you.
Yeah, just go through windows and shit, dude.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, like, having all of those, like, news things, like, lock your door, and they're like, fucking...
There
not
was,
me.
In the crazy part of the Night Stalker thing, you can attest to this. There's a late...
It's on you.
They interview the daughter of a victim, and it's like, oh, yeah, sure, we heard all the things, but I've spent my whole life not locking my doors. I'm not going to start now because of some serial killer. She was raped and fucking murdered. Like, the most horrific way to die.
Brutal. Yeah.
Brutality.
Trauma to the head.
Yeah. Horrific.
This guy makes Richard Ramirez look like a fucking...
Let's keep reading, yeah.
On one occasion, he was caught and chased off by a couple returning home as he pilfered their belongings. He had also urinated and defecated on their infant child's bed and clothing. On January 23rd of 78...
I didn't know he was a part-time comedian.
That's hilarious.
Chase broke into a house and shot Teresa Wallen, 3 months pregnant at the time, 3 times. He then had sexual intercourse with her corpse while stabbing her with a butcher's knife. You can stab with the butcher's knife?
It's not ideal, but yeah.
Yeah.
He then removed multiple organs, cut off one of her nipples, and drank her blood. He stuffed...
Wait, do you think that he fucking drank blood from the severed nipple?
Yeah, it wasn't coming out quick enough.
Yeah.
Oh, man. What a cool cat this guy is. Keep going.
It was like a juice box.
It's a fun little party trick.
Oh, no, he got to the juice box later.
Oh, God. Keep going. I want to hear this.
He stuffed dog feces from Wallen's yard down her throat before leaving.
Oh, fuck.
On January...
As is tradition.
On the 27th, Chase entered the home of 38-year-old Evelyn Maroth. He encountered her friend Danny Meredith, whom he shot with his .22 handgun. He then fatally shot Maroth, her 6-year-old son Jason, and her 22-month-old nephew David Ferreira, before mutilating Maroth and engaging in necrophilia and cannibalism with her corpse. A visitor's knock on the door startled Chase, who fled in Meredith's car, taking Ferreira's body with him. The visitor alerted a neighbor.
He took the baby with him.
The visitor alerted a neighbor who called police. They discovered that Chase had left complete handprints and shoe imprints in Maroth's blood. Chase was arrested shortly after.
Hold on, real quick. Boner check. Boner check.
What did they skip about the 6-year-old he killed? What part did they skip there, Luke?
They drank the blood out of the baby.
Using what as a straw?
What? Tell us.
No.
Do you not remember?
I don't remember.
He doesn't remember. That's
straw.
what I'm saying. What was the straw? It was the windpipe, right?
No, it was the 6-year-old's dick.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh man, that's
He used a
fucking
6-year-old's dick to drink a 22-month-old's blood.
Blood.
Yeah, you gotta give that a little bit more time. That's not gonna be good blood. Give it a couple years.
He's got to work on his bits if he's
This
a part-time
is
comedian.
fine.
Use a silly straw. Come on.
This
Yeah,
is barrel-aged
Hey, that's
baby
a pretty
blood.
silly straw.
Yeah. Dude, I was watching.
Chris was like, "Oh yeah, I regret this podcast."
No, it's great. It's like a leeching from myself. I just want to get all this stuff out here. I've been making a bunch of.
We'll get all your dark out for you.
Yeah, dude. I was watching The Night Stalker, and then I was watching. Did you guys watch the Woodstock '99?
Yeah,
train
yeah.
wreck thing.
Oh yeah.
That was making me more uncomfortable the more I watched that.
You're
as
like, rape
opposed-
culture is real. It's actually a thing. When you watch that documentary, you're like,
Horrible.
holy shit, it was a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
it was just
people shit on it now, but oh my god, it was a total.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, and the pacing too of the train wreck, the Woodstock thing was pretty. It was a good documentary, but watching that made me feel more gross than watching the Night Stalker stuff.
I kind of know what you mean. Because that's one guy, right? The Night Stalker's one psychopath that has a mental illness that you can kind of compartmentalize. Woodstock '99 is like it's like if everybody bandwagon raped and fucking did horrible
Yeah.
shit together.
That's what it felt like.
It's so much more like oh man, this crushes me for humanity on some level.
And I could put myself in those situations, being like a young kid and just being completely just helpless in
Just
those
wanting to
situations.
finger girls on.
Yeah, I was hanging out with these yahoos, driving
How do
a
I-
fucking
how do I
ice
get-
cream truck through the crowd.
How do I get my parts inside of her without her saying yes?
Yeah, well, just fucking drugs, apparently. Drugs and no security, and no one cared. But yeah, that was messing with me more than the Night Stalker. I think, too, hearing like police officers, how they go about describing stuff, it's way more palatable. But I mean, the shit that he was doing, he's fucking, killing, raping, necrophilia. He was also throwing up on purpose. So they eat their food and throw up on the floor in their kitchen and jerk off into it. Just completely insane shit.
But he's
As is
like I
tradition.
said, you can compartmentalize that as he's completely out of his fucking
Yeah.
gourd. He has no sense of reality
Yeah.
left. He's a complete psychopath. It's so much more fucking horrible when it's like this widespread thing that's happening with thousands of people at once that everybody's just accepting as
Like
this
this
thing.
zombie situation, like with that sort of
Mob mentality,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So that was
The more
terrifying.
people in on it, the lower the IQ gets. That's like I can like a person, I can dislike a person. I always hate a crowd.
Speaking of drugs and psychedelics and Woodstock, did you ever dive into hallucinogenics or anything like that?
Yeah, mushrooms, acid. I've only done acid like a handful of times.
So you had like an experimental phase.
I guess. I mean, I think.
Yeah, it was gay in the 90s for a little while.
Yeah, I was definitely experimenting. No, I mean, I think I had a progression like a lot of kids, at least in my area, did, where you start out drinking like in high school. I think freshman year was like the first time I started drinking, and then shortly after that, pot. And then a little bit later, I think I got into mushrooms in college, and that was just, I mean, that made everything else just seem silly.
Yeah.
You know?
I hear people talk about progressions like that, and I'm like, fuck, dude, that's like what normal people like. My first experiences with drugs were watching my friend smoke crack when I was like 13 years old and being like, you should try weed. And I was like, my dad's still alive. And then 3 months later, it was like, well, let's try it out.
So what did you start out doing?
The first thing I drank with like my dad and my uncle and stuff. We had a full bar in the basement, so they'd let us drink. So, I mean, it was probably like 11, and then I would drink regularly with them when I was like 12, and then my dad died when I was 13, and then I started smoking pot in spring break of 2008, so I'd have been 14 then, and then from there it was just like I want to do everything. I started watching like fucking stupid Joe Rogan documentaries about the legalization of pot and all this shit and how psychedelics are cool. So I was like, how do I get some psychedelics in my system? So 16, it was like acid, and then all my friends knew chemists and like people that were like selling psychedelics and stuff. So it was like research chemicals, the
phenethylamine
family.
medications.
Yeah, allergy medication, fucking triple C's. I don't know. I grew up with fucking degenerates, like real degenerates that did fucking crazy shit. So
I don't understand how I didn't start smoking pot or anything else like when I was like 10, 11, because I hung out at the house this was the house where I first saw my first porno. Probably saw
what was it? What was your first porno?
Dude, it was something. It was like an old VHS that we found, or he found in like his mom's like dresser drawer or something. And she was split up from her husband, and like there was no supervision ever. So I remember watching that. I remember there was a guy dressed like there was a background story to it. There was a genie who was a guy. And I remember there was a handful of different ladies, but I remember just seeing them and being like, what the fuck is what? It just completely, I never.
And now every time Aladdin plays, you get hard for some
Yeah,
reason.
exactly. A whole new world. Oh, what?
He's like, just Robin Williams' voice is enough.
Yeah.
Or his wife's like, oh.
But yeah, I remember like that house, like everyone was doing, it was just the place where everyone did like drugs and stuff. And I didn't even smoke a cigarette until I was in high school. I don't know how. I think I had like a strong constitution. Like as a kid, I went to Catholic school, and so I did have like some, I guess, guardrails. I wasn't like rebelling at that point. I just didn't have a need to. But
I waited on cigarettes, weirdly enough. I started with weed, and I didn't smoke cigarettes until I was 16. And my friend was like, "You're not getting no pussy. You got to get some pussy. You're 16. You're gonna be a virgin forever if you don't get pussy right now." I know how to fix this. Smoke cigarettes, and it was like, come to find out later, women hate cigarettes. So you smell terrible, especially when you're in high school. And it was like the worst possible advice ever. Got laid that year though, so
nice.
he was
Good
fucking
job, dude.
spot on with the
And like 4 times
Korean
since.
trash I was hanging out with.
good job, man, getting those numbers up. About to hit a baker's dozen.
You said he was spot on. Like it was the smoke,
nailed it.
The smoking that did it for you.
My first time was with a heroin addict, so he nailed it. He knew he knew what I was going
Pinpoint
to be.
accuracy.
Hey, he's got
The
money to
heroin
buy
guy.
cigarettes. He probably has money for it.
I get it. The heroin addict's a guy. Okay.
I just remember this. The house that I went to do, it had all the nefarious things were going on.
Yeah.
The first like people that I watched that porno with, I think are all dead now.
Nice.
There's just a few kids, but they didn't live long lives.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking like, oh my god, I could have really been one of those dudes.
Is it mostly heroin overdoses in that crowd? Because I have a lot of those grown up that I know that are just dead from heroin.
Yeah, heroin was like that was the thing that.
It really popped off in like how old are you?
I'm 34. I graduated high school in 06, and it was like a big drinking kind of community, but there was those kind of like fringe characters that would do the hard drugs. And then after like the next few years, I know at least at my old high school, that became the thing. It was like instead of drinking was a lot more, hard drugs, pills and stuff like that. So I think I just missed that wave. But like the friends of mine that are dropping, it's heroin.
Yeah, I hit the wave of the friends doing pills. Like there was a friend of ours, Sean, that had not my friend Sean. If I don't want to say his last name, but a different Sean than the one that's been on the podcast. But his dad lived in a shed outside of his mom's house, and they would just fucking snort pills in the shed. He would have a space heater in the shed. He's like, "You want to see my pot plants?" He had 2 shitty pot plants that were dying, turning yellow outside the shed.
It all makes
and
sense.
He was so proud of them. And we would snort pills in there. And I just remember fucking, I was doing like Vicodin 10s, Loratabs they call them, and fucking, I was like having a great old time. And I just started looking around, and I was just like, all these people are going to be on heroin soon, and I'm going to be right there with them. I don't want to be on heroin. So I just quit doing it, and then 2 of them are dead now. And then the other ones are recovered heroin addicts that now they're like, oh, I just take acid every day and travel the fucking world, and fucking now I'm a better person. I'm like, I would have rather you died of heroin, I think. It would have been so much less annoying.
So
and
you
Way
did-
more obnoxious now.
yeah, you're way more obnoxious on the
Don't
acid.
ruin the memory I had of you.
Yeah, what's worse, your friend that likes Grateful Dead or your dead friend? I think your friend that likes Grateful Dead.
There's
Yeah.
a
Way more
picture someone
tolerable.
posted of me. It was actually 2 pictures back to back where I was like, I'm the only person alive in this photo. And it was 2 pictures back to back, totally different groups of my friends. But one of them was like, oh, she died in a car crash, it's aneurysm.
Yeah.
Murdered his girl. His
I have one
girlfriend
like
and then
that.
Himself. The other one was drugs. Now, the only other person that I found out was alive, I assumed was dead. In the second picture, where it was drugs. The guy, I was like, oh, for sure he's dead,
Yeah.
because I thought he was going to die before we hit like junior year.
Yeah.
No, he's a preacher. And I went,
That's my
damn.
friend Josh. You
if
have
he had
a
just died,
Josh.
if he had just died when he was still fun,
Yeah.
Like, there's no, I don't know what's worse, like the continued drug habit or becoming religious to clean up. Like,
I don't know.
I feel like
Pretty
I lucked
obnoxious.
out then, because like every time I'm friends with a handful of the kids I graduated with at my Catholic school, and my graduating class was like 13, 14 fucking kids. So yeah, so every time I find one that adds me on Facebook and I like look through their profile, I'm like, dude, I'm a winner.
But we
Like, I
graduated.
totally came out on top.
We graduated together. Did you ever have an over/under on Cody's going to prison or jail, or not prison or jail, dead or prison? Was there ever one of those?
I don't know if I ever sat down and thought like he's definitely going to do the one or the other, but but I think if you're asking me now, I probably thought at the time that both of those were good possibilities of your future.
I was a little different of a human being in high school.
Yeah.
I had less fucks to give, I think.
Yeah. Our friendship didn't start till after graduation.
All right, fair enough. I just my friend Adam, I always when
Adam,
he died,
yeah.
we me and Sean literally
When
said,
Adam died,
eye full of
his
tears.
death
We were
of-
like crying together, and it was like, well, we always knew he was either going to prison forever or fucking he was gonna be dead. So it was like that moment of like we've said this for years.
Been
to
preparing.
his, yeah, exactly. Like we knew this was coming.
His-
You already had the email chain going of just waiting for it to actually happen.
Send.
pull up the draft and his
Yeah.
hand, yeah.
there were bets on what the headstone was going to look like.
Yeah, you had to keep altering. the
Angels are
headstone.
just
Cremated, everyone loses.
Oh damn!
start to pull over on Cody.
Dude, fucking almost an hour has flown right by. We got to close on something strong. What do you guys got? I know you got something. It can't just be death and murder.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about that, but I kind of figured like that's the whole like you guys talk about.
Yeah,
that
that's our
stuff,
vibe.
right?
Let's go you. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see if we can pull something out of this. Can we go hell gigs? I love a good hell gig story. Luke looked like he had something better. I trust Luke better.
I was just gonna say, we were talking. Well, I was talking to him on the way up here. That Phil had pointed out last episode, and I was unaware of it, that he had recorded a special with 4x3.
Yeah, I
Plug
recorded
that.
that in April, and it should be. I'm working with him right now. It should be coming out before the end of the year.
In 16
We'll
to
see.
36 months, it'll be out.
Yeah, exactly. No, they're doing a really good job like editing it right now, and I shot that at Go Bananas, and it was a really fun night. I got to do that weekend. So yeah, it'll be coming out on Tubi at least, and then it's 4x3. That was a production company that did it.
If you guys aren't familiar, 4x3 is the one that did fucking Lee Kimbrell's special. Go and check out Mike and Molly. They did fucking Fell Pointers. We just had on last week. They did Blake Hammond's. That'll be out hopefully soon. That was one of the hardest I've ever laughed. And fucking check out Chris Weir's. But let's go hell gigs. So do you have hell
Or how about
gigs?
this? Let the funny guy be funny. What's one of your favorite stories to tell?
Sure.
Oh man, I think like once I start like telling them, like it just becomes almost like in the repertoire of things. So it's hard for me to look forward to like the things I look forward to. The things that are just brand new that I think might have like a the early gestation period where you think, is this going to be fun, and then you get that reaction back. So like pretty much anything that's new and might be clicking is good. I mean, I've told that smoking pot on the nude beach story a whole bunch. That's been kind of a fun story to say. I mean, I normally tell that like, at the end of
and also you've made that so fun.
You don't have to run bits on the podcast. So
No, I was just
Yeah.
asking if there's like I find most people have a story, like one or two stories they like to tell other people, or like what I would call it, like your party story.
Oh, okay.
Like if you're
that's why I was
entertaining
trying to go
or-
hell gigs. What
Yeah.
are you doing? You're trying to get them to run fucking bits right now?
No,
Come on,
I was
man.
going with
Jesus Christ.
Well, this wasn't necessarily a. I'm trying to think here. There was one hell situation where I'm thinking the last time I bombed super hard.
go with that.
Oh, okay, this was pre-pandemic. There was a brand new comic. She was doing her time. This was at Go Bananas, and I was going to be going on after her. And she also brought vast majority of the people. So she's at a certain slot in the night where it's towards the end. Going to make sure you have all the energy for her. She goes up there and she's going over her time. And if you don't know, you have typically 5 minutes at a mic, and this is what Go Bananas does. And they communicate with lights, let you know, hey, at 4 minutes, you got a minute left. They'll flash light at you. At 5, they'll just start flashing it like, hey, you got to wrap it up. There's other people in the show. And sometimes they'll cut off the mic. And that's what happened in this situation. She was going, a minute or so over, and they cut off her mic. And granted, she has like all pretty much the people there, and they aren't familiar with this. And it looks like the club just shut off her mic. And then I have to walk up there, and I was like, oh, fuck. No. And I try to get her to stay on stage so she can get like a good official applause. Here's the end of your set. She was a bigger girl, and she's going to step off of the stage, and I try to bring her up, and she steps down, and she kind of twists her ankle, and she goes, oh, like lets out like one of those like I'm in pain like gasps. And so like from the vantage point of the audience, they see their girl that they're there for, get her mic shut off. A dude that I look like I'm kind of associated with the club. It looks like I'm grabbing her and twisting her ankle in a way. And I try to get him like, give her applause. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing? You're hurting a girl. And then so after that debacle, I had to do 5 minutes, and the crowd just wanted to kill me. They were just like, why did you like? That was like the hardest I bombed in years, and that was just right before the pandemic.
So just up there slinging jokes with nothing coming back. They're all just eyeballing you.
Yeah, they're just like, what the fuck were you doing? It just looked terrible.
Without any names, what's the worst that you've ever seen somebody fucking eat their dick in front of an entire crowd?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, you'll just see some weird stuff. Like it shows. I'm probably trying to think back to like Thompson House. Back it used to be the old Southgate House.
Yep.
You just seeing just some of. I mean, it's just like an open mic. You'll no.
Jay Armstrong.
No, I'm definitely not talking.
Definitely
He's listening. What are you doing?
No, but it's like any place.
Ran the mic.
Any place where there's a mic, where there's anyone that can. Oh no. The first comedy club I ever went to watch an open mic. This is before I started doing stand up. This was at the Newport Funny Bone. Okay, this is when I was at Newport.
Legendarily shittily club.
Dude, no,
shittily
the club was
shitty
great.
club.
It just
the crowds were dog shit. They were fucking Newport on the Levee crowds. I get it. I worked in the building next to it at GameWorks, so I understand the people that were coming through. Keep going.
So this is an open mic night there. One of my buddies was on the show. I'd never seen like an open mic, whatever. So I decided to go there, and there's a dude that's there, clearly been drinking a whole bunch, and he's on the show.
You can say my name. It's fine.
Yeah, he gets up on stage, and it's just going poorly. He's just disassociated. He's not connecting with anything. It is just going horribly. He's got the flop sweats, and then he starts just talking himself into a corner, and he says, "Oh, what? You just want me to show my dick? You want me to show my dick?" And he started talking about how tiny his dick is. He says, "You don't believe me? I'll show you." And like, no one is like.
No one is egging him on. I've heard this story from more people.
Wait, it was actually me?
This is
it was actually me
doing this.
Yeah, this is when I first met you.
It seriously was me?
This is where you asked me to do the podcast.
Oh, I forgot.
It's like 3 minutes of him not getting any laughs, so he's just like, you want to see my small dick?
So, yeah.
No, really, you want to see my small dick?
It has warts on it. Well, it used to. I don't even have the wart thing anymore. Keep going.
But that's what, so he's like, you want to see my dick? You want to see my dick? And he keeps doing that, and then at the very end of his set, he pulls down his pants completely, and he's just,
he sexually assaults an entire crowd of people.
Yeah, he's just, Winnie Pooh. So they got the T-shirt on top, dick just down, and it is a tiny dick.
Yeah.
It looked like a little fucking, like a pigeon with its head like poked back and just like resting on its balls. And then that was like
I like that the dick has arms in your...
Yeah, it's just resting out like this. He's got some phalanges flopping around there. But he just showed off his tiny little nub, and then they kept the show going, and nothing happened. It was just like, okay, and then...
No one cared?
No one did anything.
No one even laughed about it?
People were reacting in the audience, but no one was like, get him out of here. And the host just went like, all right, I guess that happened, and then we'll bring up our next. And it's just like, what the fuck world is this? And could you imagine any other scenario where a person goes into an establishment, shows his dick to everyone there, and then just like sits down and gets to close out his tab? He just kept fucking drinking.
He got paid.
It was insane.
That's still on the nights where they're doing $5 a spot.
Dude, that's a beautiful ending to this podcast. Chris Weir, thank you so fucking much. Can you plug your dates one more time and your social media, please?
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. This is my pleasure. My social media is going to be Chris Weir, CW. That's going to be on Instagram, Twitter. Follow me there. I'll be at Go Bananas on the 5th. I will be at Urban Artifact, I think, on the 29th. And also, if you're going to be in Lexington, check me out there at Comedy Off Broadway, 20th through the 22nd. Thanks, guys.
Chris, he's going to go and do some shit after this, so it's just the boys on the Patreon, but don't worry, we've got a lot of fucking fun shit planned for you. If you want to check out the Patreon, there's hundreds of hours of bonus content. You get a bonus episode every single week. You get our free show a day early. You get all the LLCs, which is our movie companion podcast, and we're going to be doing one, we just scheduled one for Prey, the Hulu, the new Predator movie. It's fucking sick. I can't wait to watch it with you boys and fucking review that. Maybe we'll get a comedian on. I don't know who the guest is going to be. free. But the Patreon is fucking awesome. Check it out. Patreon.com/thebastardsermon. $5 for all that shit. And I mean, I'm telling you, $5 you get hundreds of hours of content. It's worth that $5 fucking. I'm telling you. Please check us out there. And if you would do us a favor, share if you enjoyed this, if you know a comedy fan, don't share it. Don't like fucking, if you see me posted, then double share it. That's helpful. I appreciate that. But tell a friend that likes comedy that doesn't know about us. Tell them, hey, this is a lot of fun. You might not know about this comic that came on. Fucking share it with that person, one individual person. Let them fucking see it. Somebody that'll really get into it. That'll make way more of a difference than fucking sharing it on anything social media wise. You're gonna get buried by the algorithm. But if you can like and subscribe on YouTube, that would mean a lot. If you can leave us a little comment, something that we said throughout that helps us beat the algorithm. We're tiny little creators. I want to get up in the world. We're nothing without you guys, and I want to fucking get up in this fucking podcast comedy world, and the only way we're gonna be able to do it is with you guys. You fucking my beautiful, supportive little fucking racist fans.
Little bastards.
Terrible people that like me for some reason. I don't like the racist fans. Anyways, who are we sponsored by, Luke?
We are sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop has all of your essential needs when it comes to the smoking world and necessities. They've got rolling papers. They've got cones. They have lighters. They got clipper lighters, if that's your thing. They've got water pipes, bongs, bowls, steam rollers. They have it all. And it's top-of-the-line heady glassware that you can't get anywhere else for a cheaper price. And you can find Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop at one of two locations. They have one at 937 Monmouth Street, Newport, Kentucky, 41071, and the other location is at 11424 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45249. If you go on into Cincinnati, Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop, and buy some stuff, take it to the counter, let them know you're a bastard, and they will get 15% on your order.
If you guys are into tattoos, go and check out Bobby Bronson. He runs a tattoo shop down in the historic Pendleton district of OTR called The Decorated Body. If you want to see what kind of shit that they're putting out right now, check out at The Decorated Body on Instagram, or specifically for Bobby, at BG Bronson. He does a lot of anime-inspired manga, black and gray style tattoos, a lot of really cool panels on people's arms. He's always booked. He's a super popular artist. Soap also works down there. Oso also works down there. There's other people, I don't know their names. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting you guys' names. Bobby's the only one that's paying us to say this, but they did just get a new artist, and all of them are fucking tremendous. I know people that have gotten work from almost all the artists out there, and they have nothing but great shit to say. Go and check out The Decorated Body. Go and give fucking Decorated Body a like and fucking subscribe, whatever you do on Instagram. Give them your money. Get a fucking tattoo from them. They've got super reasonable rates, and Bobby's books are always closed because he's such a popular artist. So make sure you follow him because he's always doing raffles so that you can get in there and get a little tattoo booking. All right, the Bengals are gay, dude.
Fuck you.
We like the Bengals.
Check out the podcast with me and friend of the pod, Alex Schubert. We do a podcast weekly called "Fuck You, We Like the Bengals." We roast whatever team the Bengals are going to play.
Can I just say real quick? They just had they've been nice enough to let me produce these episodes and hang out with them while they're doing this. One of the best episodes that they've done so far all year. After, during, and fucking the entire time we're recording, afterwards, everybody's like, this is the best episode we've ever done of this podcast, and I wholeheartedly agree. Go and check out the Jets Week 3 on YouTube. We like the Bengals. I'm gonna help Alex so that we can get this out there easier and fucking make this a little bit more subscriber friendly. But for now, we like the Bengals. That's the channel on YouTube. Check out Week 3. It's fucking phenomenal. They have so many good roast jokes. Rami's there with us. Rami Brown is one of Lloyd's co-workers, and he comes in and just fucking crushes it. He brings such a good, fun energy that even, like, I felt good enough that I had a couple roast jokes in there. I'm not a comic. I don't never roast nothing, but I had a couple that landed, and I felt good about it, and they write for this every week. Lloyd puts in a tremendous amount of work. Alex Schubert makes a slideshow for this every week. Now it's got full video. Please check that out. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no, you're fine.
I feel passionate about Fuck You, We Like the Bengals. It's a great podcast.
As good as I could have done. But I will say, there's two things I really like. Banging and snacks.
I love those
Luke,
things, too.
What should I do about those things?
You should put them together and head on over to bangandsnacks.net.
and get what? What?
Why? Why would I go there?
Can I get sucked and fucked and have a snack?
At bangonsnacks.net, you can get all of the greatest snacks from around the world, from Belgium, China, Japan, Korea, the UK. They've got them all, from snacks, chips, sweets, drinks. They have them all, and you can get them at a much cheaper price than you can get anywhere else. Jungle Gyms or any other foreign food website, prepackaged snack subscription website. Has absolutely nothing on bangonsnacks.net.
They're the fucking best. And go to bangonsnacks.net and type in the code bastard or bastards, and you will save 15% off their already ridiculously low prices. Again, that is bangonsnacks.net. Use the promo code bastard or bastards, and you'll save 15% off.
And free shipping for
Local orders.
That's right.
Do we have any local people that we want to shout out real quick? Anything you guys can think of? I've got one. October 9th, there's a show at Go Bananas that Blake Hammond's putting together. Jeremy Johnson's going to be on it. I don't know who else, but that's enough for you guys to go out there and fucking spend your hard-earned cash. I know it won't cost much, $5-10, something like that. It won't be much, if not free. I have no idea, but whatever it is, go out there, throw them your money. It's a Saturday night. You're gonna have a good fucking time. Blake and Jeremy do the JTC podcast. They're nice enough to let me produce that and talk on it. I'm gonna be fucking talking shit. We're recording this tomorrow after Bengals. Me and Blake are going to debate the Dahmer series. We have very differing thoughts on it, and it's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you fucking subscribe to JTC. It comes out randomly. It never comes out, but I'll tell you what comes out every week. Fucking Hambone and the Guy. Giles Chickering and Blake Hammond are putting together fucking... anybody that doesn't know Blake Hammond, one of the funniest comedians in Cincinnati, he writes jokes for Bob and Tom. The jokes that he can't bring to Bob and Tom because they're too, whatever, they're too fucky, too blue, too racy, whatever. He brings those to Hambone and the Guy. It's so much fun. It's uncensored morning zoo talk radio. If you ever sat in your car, if you ever worked a construction job and you didn't have a CD player and you just turned on fucking Bob and Tom, or you turn on whatever your local radio station is, it's that, but uncensored. It's a lot of fun. And there's full video for it that Giles is putting up over at Zorse Industries. I think it's Zorse Industries.
Yes.
Yeah. Zorse, Zorse Industries on YouTube. Go and check that out. And
Giles is a great guy for that, because he does sound like a morning podcast or morning radio guy that wants to kill himself. He has such such a delightful energy that he brings to
You're
it.
right.
Yeah.
Also, I've heard there's a certain Cinnamon Sugar Fairy going to be performing.
I was actually just going to do listeners, I have been doing comedy now for 9, close to 10 months. And I did my first 10-minute set, and right after I started getting asked to do more shows. So follow me at Luke Young Laughs again, and you'll start seeing me share some more shows.
And one you're booked on for sure. There's one you're booked on for sure at Chameleon.
Yeah, the 29th of November, I will be part of Breezy's Creepies Comedy Showcase. I have one tomorrow, but that'll be far too late when it comes out. And I don't have the date yet, but I'm invited to be a part of Gretchen's Roast, probably competing up against Spencer Eddingfield.
Couple little birds told me, they tweeted my ear that you were crushing at Symposium recently.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and he keeps getting booked. And I know when you guys hear 9-10 month comic, you're like, oh no, not going to see him. Fuck that. Luke is way fucking funnier than he should be for as little comedy as he's done. I'm so proud of my boy. He comes out and crushes it. You're really fucking good at this. I hope you keep doing it. I'm so proud of you. I'm
having fun. I'm having a lot of fun.
You, dude. Go and see. Anybody listening, please, if you support the podcast, go out and fucking see our boy Luke Young go and crush it.
And Chris.
Yeah, Chris Weir,
please.
absolutely.
Go see Chris Weir. I mean, it's one of the ones I was excited to have on.
Same.
Oh, thanks, dudes.
It was so much fun, dude.
I've seen Chris for years now, and I've always been like, that's a kid who knows how to write a joke and knows how to perform a joke well.
Can I also say thank you for being the first comedian in 4 weeks to not cancel on us. We've had to reschedule with other comics. We've done episodes by ourselves. We've had a string of cancellations. Thank you for following through. Thank you for taking us somewhat seriously and saying you're going to do it and actually doing it. I appreciate the fuck out of that, and I'm sure the fans love this episode because goddamn, this was fire. Thank you, man. All right.
Absolutely.
That's a great episode.
Thanks, man.
We'll
definitely have you back.
Peace. Weird.
Looking forward to it.
Check out the Patreon.